Today is the Likeminds Conference 2010 in Exeter. I've woken up in my hotel after a very good night. And today I want to learn stuff, starting with the quickest way to get rid of a hangover.
They could take a picture after you've pushed the button.
Welcome to Likeminds. We've got a fantastic day ahead, some tremendous speakers. John Bell from Ogilvy, obviously Chris Brogan wrapping everything up in the day. Wonderful sponsors, Kodak providing ZI8 cameras, Goy, who are a very cool fashion brand. If you don't know who they are, you're probably too old to wear the clothes. And just enjoy the day. You know, it's going to be a tremendous fun.
I expect from today people really to be inspired, but more than to be inspired, to get accessible ideas that they can go away and use, act, build upon, integrate into their lives, businesses, charities, companies, whatever.
Is there going to be a follow-up on last year at all?
Yeah, last one was really looking at social media. This is looking at people to people, which is a bigger concept. It's about how we're changing the way that we communicate, and it's more than social media. So we're building upon that. Last time, for instance, people were able to go away and people were able to get new work. They were able to take on more staff because of what they learned last time. This time, it's taking that to a next level.
Kev Global on Twitter.
Hi, Documentally.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
What brings you here?
Well, supposedly my panel is to talk about a dying industry, but what I want to talk about is how deepening our relationship with our audience can actually help us kind of deal with this crisis at the moment.
And it is a crisis, you believe?
I think it's a crisis right now. I'm generally quite bullish about the future of journalism. It's going to look really different than what we have now. But I think that at the moment the recession has kind of pushed a lot of companies to the edge. But I think the one way to do it is not just by cutting costs, but by increasing our relationship with our readers and our audiences, getting them more involved in our journalism, but also just building those bridges.
What's your future of journalism?
My future of journalism, networked intelligence. Right now, we've solicited a lot of people's opinion. What do you think? We want to ask, what do you know? And what do you want to know? So we've got a lot of projects around that. Hopefully, at Sue and I will have some exciting things to announce soon.
Excellent. Well, do you want to talk about this past week, very briefly?
Well, the past week, I've announced that I'm taking voluntary redundancy from The Guardian, along with a lot of other excellent colleagues. We're going on to new opportunities. We're sad to leave The Guardian, but at least I'll speak for myself. I'm excited about continuing the work in the future of journalism, because I think it's important. But one of the things we have to do is actually not just renew the relationship with companies, journalism companies, but actually renew our relationship with journalists, so that people know why we do what we do, and build up that trust again. And I think there's just amazing opportunities, not only for business, not only for journalists, but for democracy.
Yeah, good luck. I think it's Guardian's loss. That's my personal opinion. Can they save themselves?
I think they can. There's a lot of smart people, there's a lot of committed people. I think one thing that The Guardian does have going for it is it does have some very loyal audience members. So,
You say audience members, that's interesting.
Well, I think that's the thing, is that there's still some things that they can do to bring them closer, and I mean, that's part of their strategy. I mean, one of the things that Alan Rusbridge, the editor, talks about is mutualization. So, increasing the ways that people can contribute to the journalism, can contribute to the organization, to make sure that journalists can continue to do their jobs. So I mean, that's definitely a huge part of their future. And the question mark that hangs over the Guardians, the question mark that hangs over all of the industry, and really it's the Great Recession. It's just it's been the tsunami that's wiped out all boats, whether it's the digital side or the print side, and that's really the challenge. And if it's a matter of survival for the next year, and I don't mean that just for the Guardian, I mean that for a lot of organizations. But I think the Guardian is one of the things, like I said, they do. They've got a great relationship with their readers, with their audience, whatever you want to call them. People formerly known as the audience, as Jay Rosen called them. So I think that'll keep them in better stead than some places. But at the end of the day, it's just been such a dramatic reversal during the recession. It's difficult for any company to deal with.
Brilliant. Yeah, thank you very much and good luck. Thanks for the near future.
Talked a lot about kind of philanthropy and John was saying about how hip-hop sold out. We talked about the elements from more commercials. The operators are beginning to change what they do in order to fit in with what the social community that we have is asking them for. In my experience, it's beginning to do that. So it's not anymore about this restaurant chain telling people, you're not having that big push.
And it's not easy when you're talking about big organisations in particular. I mean, we do a lot of work with central government. They're terrified.
There's such an incredible group of people here, and you know what the thing is? You know the thing about TED? Because Scoble was saying that TED, we need to get more people at TED. I completely disagree. We don't need to get people to TED. We need to get the ideas and the things that TED does into Exeter and into different areas. Take about the kids on the estates that are near me. Those kids are never going to get to go to TED, but they need someone to inspire them and get them to act now. So today is people are making connections. Connections are what makes it happen. Community is great. The community doesn't actually make things happen, connections do. You retweet my stuff because I know you. And all the people that are seriously making Likeminds happen are guys that we know, all of you guys. All of these guys. This is actually quite funny, we've got 3 cameras. But all of you guys and the guys watching,
You're used to 3 cameras.
I am. But we are the connections that make it happen more than the community that sucks it in. And that's my problem with a lot of these big social media guys is it's community, but there's no connection, there's no depth, there's no action. This is action.
So how is Likeminds facilitating that connection?
Well, people to people. So today, this conference is on 3 levels. Person to people, keynotes to the people, one person speaking to many people, high level of expertise to a varied level of expertise in the crowd. Persons to people, width of expertise. On the panel to the people then, people to people, lunches, sitting down, talking, connecting, backstage, interviews, upstairs, chatting, all of that stuff. That's where the real value comes in because you connect and you go, what I've heard, I now get to hear and talk with you, and then you go where you call that person next week, and now you guys actually begin acting together. You begin closing the contracts. Let's be honest, those of these guys upstairs right now, they are desperate for work, and they're not going to make it through the next 6 months unless they connect with people and make it. And they're being sold a lie by Gary Vaynerchuk, cash in on your passion. No, you've got to cash in on some common sense with some good connections. Get a team going. I don't want any of this, passion nonsense, because then people just end up being completely stuffed. You read those guys about all the people that have failed doing 4-hour work week, because it's this whole solo thing. It's me rather than we connecting, and that's not a cliche if you actually do it. And that's why we need conferences like this that connect you. Rant over. Thank you.
I've got a little bit of a buzz phrase for this connection. I call it the association cascade. I think that this association cascade has always existed, but the social media skills that we've got have made the cascade that much faster and more powerful. It's like really turned the water jet on.
Yeah, it has. They were just asking me over there about the difference between factory and today. So like factory thinking 100 years ago was about you get your factory and the processes right, and that's how you make more money. But today we're in a knowledge economy. Everything's so cheap. It's your people. If a company's doing crap, what do? You change the CEO. You change the staff. You don't try to change your processes. Yet why are we still trying to talk about tools and processes rather than connecting deeply with people that are forward-thinking, like-minded individuals? And that's why it's called Likeminds.